This video is brought to you by 3, bringing you 4G at no extra cost.
Hey guys, welcome to BTech. It's Basil here, and this is a BlackBerry Passport. Now, you're probably thinking, what are you doing with a BlackBerry? Hear us out. For starters, just look at it. This is a crazy looking phone. It's big, it's beefy, it's got a QWERTY keyboard. No phones have QWERTY keyboards these days. What's more, it absolutely dwarfs the iPhone 6 Plus. Yes, this is a 6 Plus, and this absolutely dwarfs it, especially width-wise. So before you change the channel and you're like, why are you even talking about a BlackBerry now? BlackBerries are only really relevant for a niche market, and a lot of them are business related. Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor, 1440 by 1440 display. This gives it a pixel density of 452, higher than that of the iPhone 6 Plus. Did we mention it has 3 GB of RAM, a 3450 milliamp battery, and that 13 megapixel camera around the back has optical image stabilisation? If an Android device came out with these kinds of specs, you guys would be buying it in a heartbeat. So why not the BlackBerry? It can play Android games, it can run Android apps. We're going to talk about what else it can do now. One thing we didn't mention, 32 gigabytes of onboard memory and micro SD expandability. It's literally like BlackBerry went to every factory under the sun and said, we want the best of the best hardware in our next smartphone. But now let's talk you around the actual phone, and you can see on the front is a camera, front-facing camera, in-call microphone, 4.5-inch display, like we said, 1440 by 1440 resolution. You've got that QWERTY keyboard which doubles up as a trackpad, crazy stuff which we'll demo a little bit later. A set of volume buttons, and in the center of that is a BlackBerry Assist button. Newly improved, BlackBerry Assist works a little bit better than it did before. It'll search the web, it'll send text messages, and it'll look for things around you. On the base of the device is a micro USB connector, what look like stereo speakers. Left hand side, no buttons whatsoever, but it does showcase this metal frame. It looks like stainless steel off the BlackBerry Bold 9900. Unlike the 9900 though, these are stark rectangular edges. No apologies right there. Up at the top, 3.5mm headphone jack and a power button. 13 megapixel optically image stabilized rear facing camera with flash. Inside, massive 3450 cell. Snap open the back cover to reveal a nano SIM slot, and a micro SD card, and we can clip that all back together. And that is the BlackBerry Passport in a nutshell, at least the design. What's next to talk about? It's got to be that keyboard, that QWERTY keyboard. Now we can compose a new text message to illustrate exactly how it works. If we tap through on the message field, we can start typing. So the first thing we're going to do is type TH. You can see we've got 3 options right there. We've got the, thanks, or this. Like with old BlackBerries, you can swipe up underneath the respective word, but rather than swiping on the screen, all you have to do is swipe on the keyboard itself. This, email, address, in, smiley face. Delete that, it didn't make any sense. To delete that, we just swipe back across the actual keyboard. The information you provide me with, your, etc. And you get that. We can just swipe back to delete. What's more, make a sentence up again. Hey there, dot, the gent, the UK, underscore, but the. Now we want to actually select our cursor to be sitting between the U and the K. We can navigate through by actually using the trackpad to navigate. Super smart. Swipe that out of the way. We can open up our browser. We can navigate through our browser using our trackpad, our keyboard, our trackpad, you get what we're saying. The trackpad and the keyboard actually work well, being so integrated, which is a really refreshing thing to see. BlackBerry innovating. Now let's take a look around the UI. You've got applications. An application that you haven't seen before, at least not pre-installed on a BlackBerry device in the UK, is Amazon App Store. So you can install Android apps on here. Indeed, we've got a couple. We manually installed Kindle by pulling the APK from an Android tablet, but you've also got games. We installed Rayman Jungle Run and Riptide 2 from the Amazon App Store. This also, it also supports a couple of new BlackBerry applications. If we swipe through, you can see one called BlackBerry Blend. So you can access your BlackBerry information or your Android information from your BlackBerry or vice versa. It also works across Apple devices, iOS devices, Macs and PCs. So it should open up anyone who's thinking of getting a BlackBerry Passport to better integrating with the inevitable tablet that won't be BlackBerry OS powered. There are a whole load of other things on here. Pull down from the top to get some settings, etc. And that's all app contextual. So if you're in an application, then you just pull down and it'll pull up those respective settings. There are the applications that we've seen before, Remember, which is kind of like reminders. There's Evernote integration as well as Dropbox integration on here, just like with the Q10 and BlackBerry devices we've seen before. And of course, BlackBerry Hub to the left-hand side, aggregating your email addresses, your Twitter, your Facebook accounts, etc. But the real fundamentals are that this thing is a super powerful device running a slightly antiquated operating system that runs Android apps, which is still capable if you're not invested in any other OS. Now this is, like we said, a massive first impression. We're enamored by the quirkiness of it all. We're not telling you to go out and buy one. If you have any questions before we actually do review this though, make sure you fire us a comment in the comments section below. Thanks for watching BTech. Make sure you subscribe if you want to keep up to date with everything that we think about the BlackBerry Passport and every other phone on the block.